Digimon is about to pop off. I genuinely think that now is the time to pay attention to Digimon, which is actually why I've just recently started this new channel focused on Digimon. I think exciting things are on the horizon. So this is just a little yap about that. For the better part of 2 decades, Digimon has lived in an odd space. To the wider public, Digimon has been reduced to being an incredibly niche monster taming franchise, largely existing in the shadow of Pokemon. It never truly vanished, but you'd be forgiven for thinking that it did, especially in the Western world, because the things that have been released very quietly. No big events, no huge announcements, things have just silently entered the market, and they've struggled to break out beyond a very niche fandom. But that may all be about to change. Digimon has been making some bigger moves lately. 2025 saw the announcement of 2 new Digimon games entering the fray. Digimon Story Time Stranger for consoles and PC, and Digimon Alysion for mobile devices. And both of these games look like potential game changers for the franchise. I think it's very possible that we're about to see a Digimon resurgence like we haven't seen before. Let's have a little chat about why these new releases matter, and why their impact might mean Digimon's future could be looking brighter than ever. Let's talk about Digimon Story Time Stranger first, the new entry in the Digimon Story series. I feel like this is going to be the real flagship series of games going forwards now. It does seem like the most hype comes from the story games. It's the line of games that has the broadest appeal for sure. First of all, this game is getting a simultaneous global launch, which is a pretty big deal for Digimon. Usually they'll get released in Japan first, and then it's a hell of a fight to eventually get them translated and released overseas, usually a few years later down the line. But Bandai Namco are puffing their chests out with this one. A global release across multiple platforms. In today's world, with the sheer amount of choice and sheer amount of media trying to command our attentions, accessibility is everything. So that's awesome to see. Gutted that a Switch 2 version doesn't appear to be happening on launch because that is my main gaming system. But it is what it is, maybe the next game. Time Stranger was also revealed during a PlayStation State of Play presentation, again showing that they are putting this game out to the world with some real confidence. Digimon is getting proper backing again, and it definitely needs it. After that State of Play, I went back and watched the VODs of a handful of streamers that I knew were reacting to it live, and I'm pretty sure all of them were gobsmacked that Digimon still existed. The franchise needs that push, and it's great to see that it's finally getting it, and it makes me excited for the future. Now a lot more eyes are being directed in Digimon's direction. The game itself also looks like it's the biggest, most fleshed out Digimon experience we have to date. A huge roster of Digimon, voice acting, including English voice acting. The mechanics and menus still look pretty complicated, but a lot less clunky and intimidating in my opinion than they did in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. And I'm loving the pre-order buzz around this game too. There are multiple complete editions and ultimate editions, and all that good stuff with extras and bonus content. We've continued to get updates on this game via different showcases and events. I'm rooting for it to do really well. And hopefully, if it does, the next story game after it will get so many people and so many resources allocated into it off the back of Time Stranger's success that we won't have to wait another 10 years for it. Then we also have Digimon Alysion coming to mobile devices. This is a TCG simulator for the Digimon card game, and it looks like a really great way to get people into the Digimon TCG. But from what I've seen, it also has a story/campaign mode of some sort. That'll be really interesting to see. And I think, particularly in the Western world, we need something like this. Because the Digimon TCG has never had a huge presence here. I remember owning a few cards when I was younger, simply because Digimon Tamers got me really intrigued. Although I remember being really bummed out by the card backs, because the cards I got looked like this, and the ones on Tamers looked like this. Which is way cooler, it's not even close. But yeah, I have always wanted to get into the Digimon card game, but the issue has always been accessibility, and also a lack of other people I know IRL being Digimon fans. But that is where the magic of the internet comes in, because if a card game goes digital, You don't have to know people IRL who have that same interest. You can just play against people online. That's what I'm looking forward to. This game will hopefully be my gateway into the Digimon TCG. I really hope it comes to PC. This interface looks incredible. It looks like it could so easily be a PC game. I'm sure you can hook your mobile device up to a PC and technically play it on there, but an actual PC client would be amazing. If the game does well, I can't see why that wouldn't happen. There have been a bunch of reveals for this, and demos and stuff in various places, and I'll be honest, I haven't really kept up with it. I'm kinda just letting it all be a surprise when the game drops. But I am really excited for it, and I think this game has so much potential to contribute to a huge boom in interest in the Digimon TCG, and by extension, the Digimon franchise as a whole. There's also a new anime series coming in the form of Digimon Beatbreak. That debuts in Japan in October. Whether this one will get an English dub will likely be dependent on how successful it is. Fingers crossed, although I will happily watch a sub anyway. Digimon is looking good right now. I'll be honest, I've been that skeptic for a long time. I've kept the most bare minimum casual tabs on the franchise over the years, waiting for it to do something that could fully pull me back in. Because I loved Digimon more than most things growing up. I grew up during what I'd consider to be a golden age of media franchises. I saw the rise of Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Beyblade, but Digimon was the thing that I feel I lost myself in the most. I was obsessed with the idea of being a Digidestined, getting my own Digimon partner, running around the city defeating Digimon that had found their way into the real world. Heavily Digimon Tamers inspired, that was my favourite season. I'm digressing a little bit. The bottom line is that I've been willing this franchise to do something good and exciting again for the longest time. And I suppose you could criticise me in a way by saying that me not supporting the stuff that has been released in more modern years has slowed or dented that progress. I can imagine the low interest in the things that have been released has probably had an effect on projects being greenlit for the future. But there's so much fighting for our attentions these days, you've got to pick and choose what you're aiming at. And if I see something that I can't realistically see myself pumping a decent amount of hours into, I just give it a miss. I have literally bought all the Digimon games for Switch over the last 12 months though, so I'm catching up, I'm learning, I'm getting there slowly. But I've always been rooting for the franchise. I would love nothing more than to see Digimon plastered all over gaming stores, for as long as they still exist. I genuinely believe that right now, this is the closest we are to that possibility. And there's definitely a place for Digimon in 2025 and beyond. It's darker stories, digital themes, there's a real gap for it I think. So we'll see. These games need people to rally around them as well. They need people to jump in and give them a chance. This kind of feels like a fresh start for Digimon games. A new era. Thanks so much for listening to me ramble about Digimon and how I believe that the franchise could be about to pop off. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Digimon, what your relationship with the franchise is. If you're planning on playing Digimon Story Time Stranger or Digimon Alysion, drop it all down in the comments, let's see where everyone is sitting right now. While you're down there, please do drop a like on the video, it's a super simple thing but it helps me massively. Subscribe for more Digimon videos, thanks for watching, take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one.